So fascinating here. Scalia is saying if the government can do this, what can it not do? How do you respond to this? Is this an overreach of government? Is government exceeding its rightful place in our society?
Well, Justice Scalia understands the most important part of this debate is our founding fathers gave us a limited government. Government only gets the powers they were given and nothing more. And Congress cannot give the federal government any power that's not within constitutional powers. And I think that's where Justice Scalia is so strong on this, is that, in fact, this is an overreach. There are ways to provide health care. We provide health care through Medicare and Medicaid, all constitutionally. We can do that. What we can't do is we can't order people to buy something they may not want, or, in fact, to provide a service that they think is wrong.
Of course, we won't really know the Supreme Court's answer until June. For many months now, we're still waiting for that. That'll take quite some time. But interesting, the arguments that we heard today. One of the questions I have for you, there's been a lot of conversation at the margins about the president talking about planning Obamacare, drawing it up behind closed doors. Is this something you've given thought to, and would you ever have a hearing on this in your Oversight Committee?
Well, we have had hearings on exactly that, the whole question of open government. We have a site called keepthewebopen.com, and what we do is we post, we call it the Madison Project, we post bills up there and let the public look at them, modify them, comment between each other. In the case of Obamacare, famously, Speaker Pelosi said we had to pass it so we could find out what was in it. That's not the right way to have government. Tough decisions have to have buy-in by the American people. Buy-in is not that everyone votes for it, it's that the process was fair.
Well, you talk about buy-in. One of the big problems with Obamacare, of course, it's cost. Right now we know it to be $1.76 trillion. That's about almost double what they originally expected it to be. And I got to say, there's a lot of expectations out there that the cost is going to go even higher. How do we contain something like this, or should we throw it out to begin with because we can't afford another entitlement program?
Well, Jerry, I think you're hitting the most important point. Once this is gone, and we hope it will be, we have to start addressing the things that have driven up the cost of health care. No matter how much your employer spends for your health care, it still comes out of the total pay and compensation. The more for health care, the less available for the car, the shopping, the groceries, the family. So when we start over again with health care, it's got to be about finding ways to actually drive excess cost out of the process, something that was never in the president's health care reform.
What's interesting, though, is that is where we started the conversation, that health care costs were going up too much, too fast. And now, you know, we've got a plan in place that's doubling in 2 years in costs. It's outrageous to me that we can't go at this issue in a way that makes sense for the American people.
Well, the American people understand that if they participate in the decision process, if they trade off cost benefit, they'll make better decisions than if government does it for them, because government will either give them something that they don't necessarily need, or in fact ration that they do. And that's where the debate will start up again. We do have solutions, we do have models, but we're going to have to start over in a bipartisan fashion. I'm looking forward to June.
It's a long way to go.
I'm looking forward to June because I'd like this off the table. I'd like us to go into the election cycle talking about the future, not about, if you will, things in the past that were not very fair.
Well, you know, it's interesting because today one of the justices saying this changes Obamacare, alters the fundamental relationship of each and every American to the federal government. And that would seem to be the view of the Obama administration, that that's the right way for things to be.
This is where we fundamentally disagree. His vision is, in fact, to change the role, for us to look to government for more solutions. That's not 235 years of American history and tradition, and it doesn't matter which party you're in. We've done well by those 235 years. For all our problems, we're still the greatest country on the face of the earth because we had a system of limited government.
Well, and we can agree on that part about this is the greatest nation on earth. I agree with that. Darrell Issa, great to have you on, and great to see you in person. And we know